Hey everyone, this is Saul from Johannesburg, South Africa, and today you're in for a very special treat. I'm going to be talking now to David Eisner. I recently met David. He's a young 30-year-old guy. He lives in Portland. I met him at Marketing Mayhem, and the concepts and the level of thinking and a sort of model that I want to show you now. David shared wisdom like I've never seen before in internet marketing. I've had coaches, as you guys know. I invested in the best money in the best coach that I could afford, and I've done very well. But David was sharing a completely different model that I'd like to just talk to a little bit about today. So David, thanks so much for coming on the call. It's a great honor to speak to you there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the kind words.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So David, I recently met you, David, at the Marketing Mayhem in San Diego, and what a wonderful experience that for me as a newbie. I've been in this industry. Let me give you a little bit of a background, and then I'd like to hear about you, and we can discuss these concepts together, because everyone that is listening to us is going to get huge value today. So guys, if you do have your Skype or Facebook or anything like that, just switch it off for 1 hour. I promise you, you're going to get more out of this than spending 10 hours on Facebook. Okay, so David, I started off in 2007, my internet marketing career. I went to a seminar of a guy called Dr. Joe Vitale, and he does like self-hypnosis, and he does a lot of the law of attraction stuff. I'd studied hypnosis at university, and I was very excited to see that model. And in 2007, I went to one of his seminars, and since then, like in the last 8 years, I've sold about 10,000 copies of my own self-hypnosis products. They sell for about $20, and they on ClickBank. And that brought me like to where I am now. Basically, a year ago, I stumbled upon JB Zoo and the Warrior Forum because I wanted to like really revamp my websites, and I decided to go into like the marketing. As you know, I had I got a good coach, and it's for a particular niche. My goal was to create, make money online, small WSOs, and get a buyers list as soon as possible. So now I've got a buyers list of about 10,000 people. I started off officially in about August last year, and I've had 11 products. 3 have been WSO of the day. And yeah, I'm doing pretty well at a certain level, but I know that I can definitely expand my business now, even though like I've had a good growth spurt, I still don't have those sort of structures that we discussed. So give us a bit of a background. Who is David Eisner, and how did you get into internet marketing to be where you are right now?
Well, in 2007, I decided I wanted to do MLM. And my dad had a big check when I was a kid. He was getting about $10,000 a month, and it was a part-time thing. And, I just grew up around that model. And I thought it was a great model because, anybody could go out there and just start a business really quickly. What actually ended up happening is I met this woman named Ann Sieg, obviously through the internet. She's brilliant network marketer, but also internet marketer, and I ended up selling about $10,000–$11,000 worth of her book on AdWords, and then I just kind of faded away with this whole thing. I got distracted with some other things for a couple of years until I found myself broke and in my mom's basement, and with less than like $100 or $200 to my name. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was not a lot. And I had just been fired from my job in a restaurant. So I had to do something, and nobody would hire me. I had built $1 million business, and nobody wanted to hire me. And that was in a year. We did $1.5 million in revenue in the first year, and still nobody thought that was valuable. So this was at the height of the recession or whatever. It's back in 2009. And I said, you know what? I just got to figure out doing my own thing. And I made a decision on December 1st, 2009, that I was going to start my own internet business. And that was when the Warrior Forum was just picking up. And I don't remember exactly how I got onto the Warrior Forum, but I went on there, and there was a lot of action. There was a lot of people talking, and I just learned. And my goal was to figure out what is it that every single guru out there, everybody who seems to be making a lot of money, what is it that they're all doing the same? So I would just go around and do that in different, not only for my own purposes, but in different like marketing methods, right? So I did that in SEO. So what I would do is I bought, or I got, or I don't know, I got my hands on 12 of the top SEO products out there. And I studied them all very intently. And I said, okay, what are the common threads here, right? And actually I did that after I figured out what the common thread was between all of the gurus, which was they all seem to be using email marketing. I didn't have any idea about email marketing. I swear, like I wish I'd figured that out in 2007. I'd be a hell of a lot richer right now. But, back then I just didn't get it. And I didn't understand the concepts of like building a customer and prospect list and being able to tap into that. And it still has taken me years to really understand the meaning of it and why it's valuable. And so I basically figured that out. Once I saw all these guys were doing the same thing, I said, I should do that. And so I set out to make my own product and build my own list, and the rest is kind of history.
Wow, very nice. So you came in from MLM, which is very interesting because I know that MLM is huge, and I know that like they can afford even to rent out a whole hotel. And what a lot of the people with MLM, as it seems that you did, eventually also start looking for other ways of getting traffic, and you saw the stuff on internet marketing. So I mean, you're very clued up at the moment with what is going on out there, and we were just at, say, Marketing Mayhem with all the best in the industry. In terms of where you've seen the change since 2009, 2010 to be right now in April 2015, where have you seen like the change coming with everything that you've seen? And even though there are like 10 new products a day, what do you think is going to make a person someone's successful in like today's era and today's environment? What's going on?
Well, to answer that question about what have I seen change would probably take the next couple of weeks us talking about that just straight, because so much changes in internet marketing and it changes really fast. There's a lot of trending stuff. I remember, I think it was maybe around 2011, something like that, maybe 2012, people were really hot about Google Plus. Really hot, man. Like it was easy to sell a product about Google Plus. I dare you to sell a product on Google Plus now. I mean, you'd have to be a freaking ninja. I haven't seen really anybody coming out with Google Plus products recently. I mean, there might be some here and there, but it's just not how it was. Things hit a trend. There was a time when Pinterest was really big, when they were just skyrocketing up. See, when a website is really going fast and they're getting a lot of visitors, and it doesn't matter which website it is really, it could be like YouPorn or something like that, which is, by the way, a great place to get traffic. But I won't stop off there. But if a website's trending up and they're getting a lot of visitors, and everybody's kind of wondering how to get traffic from them. So traffic is always a thing that's always changing, because there's always new websites out on the scene. There's always different ways to get traffic. People are always different platforms are always rolling out different stuff. I just sold a whole bunch of a product about YouTube in-stream traffic. So YouTube isn't new, but their in-stream platform is kind of new, and most people don't know how to use it. So I can get out there and be like, this is a hot trending topic, and it is. Or, like, this is underground right now. Nobody's talking about it. And in a year or in 2 years, it'll probably be all stomped on by marketers, and, just won't be the hot thing anymore. Maybe the thing that's coming up now, I bet, is going to be Pinterest paid ads. So, like, I heard a couple of people talking about Pinterest paid ads at TNC. Ezra Firestone was talking about it. You have to you have to apply and get into their platform. So that'll be a thing. But ultimately, what is trending is important, but not as important as, if somebody wants, you said another question was like, how does somebody come online and make money, right? That was the second question.
Right.
It's about giving value. If you want to make money, and it doesn't matter whether you're an employee or you're a business, you have to give value somewhere to somebody, right? So if you show somebody the way, if you give them information and you do it in a way that's helpful to them, there's value in that. If you provide somebody a service or a piece of software or something to make their life easier, there's value in that. So the idea that every new person who's coming into internet marketing should be thinking in their mind about, how am I going to make money? It's, I've got to provide value to somebody. Now, we were talking about leaderboards and stuff, right? Like inside of our internet marketing incubator, there are, you're making sales, right? You're hitting somebody's lunch, right? So what is the value in that? You are selling somebody else's product, so inherently you're a value to that person, right? And then you have a following who trusts you, and you're notifying them of something that can help them. So you're a value to those people, and that's why you get paid in that transaction. So, people get focused on, oh, the money's in the list, the money's in the list. That is somewhat true, an oversimplistic way of looking at things. But what is actually true is the money comes from a value exchange, right? So you're saying, I'm going to, come over here, listen to me. I'm going to give you some value, and then, I'm going to give this other person value at the same time. So it's really about thinking in those terms. If you think in gimme, gimme, get kind of mode, then I think people will be less successful. Those people are generally less successful, or it's a short-term gain and never continues on.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if people like ask me, what do you suggest the 3 things to make money online? And I've thought about it already. Listen to this, David. I want to run it past you, and that's going to bring me to my next question for you. But for me, I think the best way, and like what has made the biggest difference to me, is 3 things. First of all, invest in the best coach that I can afford. So that's, a coach is very important. I looked for a guy that had already done exactly what I wanted to do, and we have like a hidden or closed Facebook group. Like obviously no one can see what we're doing, but an ongoing continuity, which I loved. And then the second biggest thing I would say is to go to actually like a conference, or to really start networking with people. Because if you go to, especially for you guys in the USA, like you're very lucky that you, even quite spoiled that you got the different marketing mayhems and the one in the UK. So it's get coaching, go to these seminars. And then for me, my third one is to be prolific with product creation and market hard. So what I mean by that is to bring out as many products as I can. Hopefully, like my goals will be say 50 for the next year. But everything that I do is meticulous, that has got my name and my reputation, which is the most important. And then for people that are coming onto my list, the buyers, that's like, what I mean by that is market hard, is that I'll mail to them, to all of the people on my list, the new products that are coming out that I believe they can benefit from. And I do have different lists, be it like CPA, and I've got Facebook. So my question to you is, like, I've seen you do so amazingly well. You've won leaderboards that actually have prize money, and you like really at a different level, especially playing at JV Zoo, where I'm a lot more in the Warrior Plus section. How have you been so successful as an affiliate, and what do you do different that if anyone is listening to, they can just get some really practical ideas of how to start making money as an affiliate, and how to do promotions that people feel that we are giving them so much value?
Well, there's a lot of stuff in there. the first thing I'll comment on is that I think that your plan is a good one. A coach is a really good way to go, and the way that you pick your coach is more important. It was, hey, there's a guy who's doing exactly what I want to do. I need to get access to that person, so he'll tell me exactly what to do. I think that's really smart. Choosing the right coach is really, really important. I didn't really go that path that much, but I really do. I've done it in other areas a lot, outside of internet marketing, personal development and stuff like that. So I really think that's important. You mentioned something about creating a lot of offers. There are people who say the more, the person who has the more buy buttons wins. It's kind of an interesting concept, and it's true to a certain extent. I've seen a lot of people do it with one buy button. They've made millions with one buy button, or they've made millions with 100. So it's all about business strategy and what your strategy is. You seem to have a strategy, and that's more important than what the actual strategy is. Sometimes it's like, I think that a lot of the times, you mentioned going to events, which I think is really great as well. But between all of the coaching, the events, Facebook, everything, there's so much to look at. And I think almost one of the most important things is focus, right? So if you have a whole overall strategy, then you're focused. And if you can be disciplined, then you can focus in on that. And I think what happens, and this happened to me quite a lot, and still happens to me, is because I got pulled in different directions, because that's just the nature of how things move now. So moving on to the affiliate marketing thing, as far as, how do you be successful with that? Well, there has been an evolution of our industry and my business over the last 5 years, where I've learned a lot of different things. And you kind of hit me up with, an email campaign that you were running right before we decided to do this interview.
Yes.
And I said, hey, do you want to do an interview about this email here? We could do a whole hour just on this one email that you sent over to me, because I see how there's going to be some success there, and I see how there's going to be a long-term struggle for you based on that email. And we'll go over that in a bit if you want to.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's discuss that, and let me rant and fill everyone in, and then we can discuss that, because I'd love your input on that. And that's the value that everyone's going to be getting that watches this completely, is that, guys, and really, David, this is my strategy, is that I want to be able to get a nice sizable list of receptive people that want to get emails about internet marketing, be it the new CPA offer, be it a new Facebook software, like all of our friends are bringing out every day. And I want to be able to have a list and promote to that list in such a way that when they receive an email from Saul Moraney, that it should be like an email that they get from Reed Florine or someone that they want to automatically open, and then people to buy. So what is the best way for people that want, and myself, how do we make money as affiliate marketers, giving it that extra twist that you're talking about?
All right, so it all comes back to the same thing I was talking about, which is value, right? So if you look at your inbox, look over your inbox and be like, who do I open? Who do I open? Who do I read? Who do I click, right? And who do I buy from? And it's all about the amount of value that person's giving. If you're going to promote a launch where there are literally hundreds of affiliates who are promoting the same thing, there's going to be overlap in the list. I was just looking at the Zappable launch, right? And it was the last day of the launch today. It was a huge launch, right? And last day of the launch, and I got 3 emails from people about the same product.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't the value that they were giving was a reminder, right? Like, hey, this is going to close and double in price. But what's the difference between, do I buy from Chris Record, or do I buy from Matt Trainer, or do I buy from, I didn't buy from any of them. It's not, product's not for me. But you know, if I'm going to buy, you know, these are the guys who sent it to me. So what's the difference? Why am I going to buy from one or from the other? And I hit up Chris Record actually at the beginning of the launch. I remember looking at his email and being like, what a brilliant bonus. Like, this is the smartest bonus I've ever seen. He actually developed a Chrome extension that sits on top of the actual application, because he's like, well, I wanted to, well, this is at least what he said. I don't know. And he seems like a guy of high integrity to me. And he said, well, there were a couple of things that I wanted to add, or I thought the platform needed. So I created that and I put it into a Chrome extension. And I will give you my Chrome extension for free, which I'm about to sell at the end of the launch, if you buy through my link. So that's wow. It's a bonus. But you know, the way that a lot of people do a bonus is they will just stack one thing on top of the other. And that's a great way to do a bonus too. Hey, here's my bonus worth normally $25,000. Jeff Johnson will be like, hey, buy this $2,000 product and you can come to my house for a mastermind, right? One day with me for free, right? Most people are like, well, I don't even care about that product. I want to buy it for the mastermind, right? He offers a bonus that has more value than the actual product itself. And then what Chris Record was doing was he was not necessarily doing that. He was doing it more like, I've got something that nobody else has, right? You can buy this and this and this and this from that person, but nobody else has my Chrome extension. And that's why he's probably going to win $17,000 in cash and get a recurring income. I've estimated, I don't know, it's probably going to be from a single promotion. In 1 week, he's going to create an income every month after month that most people will never create in their whole life. So that's just a little bit of a breakdown of how you can start thinking about promotions a little bit differently than most people who are just starting the business. When I was starting the business, it was churn and burn. It was, I didn't know where to look for offers. I didn't know what I was sending. That was like the first thing. I didn't know anything. So, you know, if you're new, just realize that there's a learning curve, and that's okay, right? You can still make money through that learning curve. As you're finding out that you're making money through your learning curve right now, right? You just started out. You call yourself a newbie, right? And you're making money, and that's great. But we need to talk about, you know, if you want to get to the next level, how to tweak it a little bit for long-term sustainability, right? But that only really comes with perspective, and doing, you know, I guess interviews like this and stuff. Does that kind of address the question?
It does. It does address it. No, great. And look, I really appreciate you talking to me. And I think whoever's understanding what we're talking about is that David Osner is a young guy that's doing remarkably well. I mean, you're interacting with Chris Record and the guys at that level. And that was amazing. As I say, just one of the benefits to meet you and Chris Record and Brian Zimmerman. And exactly like what we were saying, one of the guys spoke from stage, and I paid a lot of money just to be able to have a mastermind with him, which for me is priceless. That shows how interested I am in getting time, like with the Jeff Johnson, exactly, that would be priceless. So, I mean, what you say now, so as an affiliate, I want to promote, say, Reed Florine, for example. He's had 10 WSOs in a row, and he'll have his 11th soon. What do you think I can do as a promotion, or thinking along your lines, that when people get this email, they'll think, wow, that's like that's a bonus I want. That's not another 10 WordPress themes that I won't use again. How do you see, like, what would you say to me as a guy trying to get onto smaller leaderboards and trying to make between, say, 15 and 20 sales for a promotion? How do I achieve that?
Well, at this stage in my business, I normally do not put a bonus together for a low price product, especially something under $10, because remember that you're going to devalue whatever it is that you're adding as a bonus, right? So if Jeff Johnson is selling his $25,000 day at his house for $2,000 that he's only going to get $1,000 commission on, he's devaluing the product, right? He's doing it so that he can make a lot of sales, and he's doing it so that he can get to a leaderboard and make a lot of money, and eventually it's going to be worth it. But in the mind of the prospect, they think they're getting a great deal, but ultimately it's devaluing it. So it's not a bad thing. It's just, devalue sounds like a bad word, right? But you have to consider that. You can't give away, the farm if you're going on a $7 product, right?
Right.
If you want to promote Reed's thing, and you want to do well with it, what you could do, is you could give away something. You could give away something that is ancillary to your core business, so that you don't devalue any of your own products, right? Or you could give away something that it has an inherent back end to it. So, for example, if you had a coaching program and you wanted to get more clients, what you could do is say, anybody who buys this, I'll give you a 15-minute call. You wanted that 15-minute call anyway because you wanted to be able to sell them on your coaching program, right? So I'll give you this 15-minute call, and then you might be able to pull out a sale or whatever, and it'll make it all worth it. The fact of the matter is that when you give away personal time as a bonus, the conversions skyrocket, but you usually only have to spend about, I would say, less than 5% of the people who actually buy the product for that bonus actually take you up on it. So if you're going to offer personal time, it's actually pretty good, because you don't actually end up spending a lot of personal time. That's probably why Jeff Johnson's willing to do that. So if we're going to talk about bonuses, and we're going to talk about how to crush leaderboards and stuff like that, it's easier to do it with a smaller list if the price is higher. I know it sounds so weird, but you're going to make more money. If I looked at all of my promotions, if I showed you all of my promotions right now, 80% of the income would come from products that are $50 and more. Because what happens is you're only going to have a certain amount of people on your list who are interested in something. And this was something, again, that I've learned from Jeff Johnson. Listen, this guy is probably one of the #1 super affiliates in the business for the past 10 years. Maybe nobody else has pushed as many affiliate products in the IM space as he has. So, and his way of doing things is, well, it's obviously effective, but he does it in a way where it doesn't burn out his entire list. He can send 10 emails for one product. And I told you this when we were hanging out, right? You can,
Yes.
Easier to burn out your list on 10 emails selling 10 different products than it is 10 emails for one product. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Wow, that does make sense, and that's a great insight. That's what I want to ask you, because I'm in a position now, really, David, and just understand it from where I'm coming from, is that I've got, like, in 1 week, this friend of mine and that friend and that friend and that friend, they're all coming out with their new products on Warrior Plus. Some will be, say, the average goal, like in the first week or two, be sell 1,000. But for everyone is expecting support from Saul Moraney. So I'm trying, and it's interesting exactly what you say, is that you would actually lose, like in your segment, if you promote I promote one new product today that I like, or a friend of mine that I want to try and make commission on, one a day, and then, like, at the end of the week, I'll say the one that I feel that was the best. Exactly. It is a different market to winning big affiliate contests. And it's interesting is that, as we said earlier, is that when each person that is launching, they actually would love to see you support them as well. But I'm sure, like, I'm at a small level, but I'm sure how you get it is that I get 3 or 4 requests a day for people. Please, can you look at my product? Please, can you promote it? So my question to you is, do you think in order for me to be able to, I've grown my list as it's about 10,000 people now, and that's a buyer's list. I want to now grow that list. Do you think that and I want to be able to promote to more people those offers. So like Jeff Johnson, or or even if I'm doing it for Saul Moraney, my strategy, do you think that like how could I improve my email marketing? Do you think I should send them a like warm-up mail the day before, or should I just send them something new every day? So it's weird, but sometimes when I've sent like a pre-sale email, sometimes it's made me a lot of money to send a pre-sale email, and some days it's made me less money. Like, I'm just asking in terms of the email marketing and trying to promote different products every single day that I think are quality to a list that I'm trying to grow. What would be your one bit of advice that where I've described where I am? How could I like double that this year, and how could I do much better on those leaderboards?
Well, it would be a discussion about overall strategy, because there's a couple of different moving parts. And one moving part is that for each product that you promote, if you want to stay in integrity, if you want to like the max amount of integrity, which is I look at every single product that I promote and I vet it for quality, then that's like near impossible to do if you're doing a whole product, if you're promoting a new product every day. So it's a lot easier if you're promoting one product a week. You can take a look. You might be able to take a look at 3 or 4 products and be like, well, this is the one that I like. And not only that, not every good product is going to be a good earning opportunity. So you have to be able to spot a good earning opportunity. For example, if you over time, you'll be able to tell which products are going to perform well with your list and which ones aren't. And once you pick those out, and once you have that kind of experience, your income will go up naturally. So there's nothing that you can necessarily do about that right now, unless you have, again, a coach. Hey, what do you think about this offer? Should I promote this offer? If you were to give me a JV page of some offer that you were thinking about promoting, it would probably take me 30 to 60 seconds to be like, yeah, promote this, or no, don't promote this, because I can tell by the quality of the JV page and in the way that they're setting up their offer and some of the claims that they're making, whether or not you're going to make any money off it. So that's a big thing. The other thing is that I don't think that you're going to win in the long term promoting a new offer every single day, because what happens is, especially if they're these low price products, now these people are already on a ton of lists, but if you are spreading them out onto more lists, you are diluting your own list. And that's just the nature of it. I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't promote other people's products, and but some people think they're going to get mad. Like people are going to get mad at you if you don't promote their product. And that's just bull. That's a very short-term way to think about business, because people release a ton of products, and you can't be expected to promote them all. And just because you did well on one product doesn't mean that you have to come back and promote the next one. In fact, from launch to launch, I probably have about 10% affiliate spillover to the next one. And I can never predict who's going to be on the top of the leaderboard. There are some people who can do that a little bit better because they have like some partners that they always work with, but I haven't been able to do that. And I've noticed that if I have a good offer, I'll attract new people to promote my product. So the other thing that I want to say is again, higher priced products. You want to send your people, right? You don't want them on crack. You want them to start with crack, get successful, and move to cocaine. Just kidding.
Exactly. Exactly your analogy, and it's so funny, but that's like, I brought out a product that was called CPA Bid Kraken. Did very nicely, got WSO the day, sold 2,000 copies. Now I've got about 1,700 people on that CPA list. David, you won't believe it. Every single day, I'm sending them out, like that email that I showed you, a brand new CPA offer. And some people buy every single day a new product, and so, as I said, it's a double-edged sword. I just want to just get one bit of advice, because I know that you're busy. But for anyone that's listening to this, how would you say I want people to buy every single day? And I've just found that the CPA list is the most responsive list out of all the different lists that I've bought. And the strategy is that I do review a product. Maybe it took me like an hour. I sort of enjoyed it. I put together a few bonuses, and then I mail for it. But like, I made for this promotion that I was promoting while I was in New York, 65 sales. It was called Easy CPA Mobile Profits. So I'm saying it's interesting, because there is this core group of people that are buying these products, and some of it is actually really good information if you were to implement that. So, like, in terms of where I'm going, is that I would love to grow a list of people that are interested in internet marketing, taking from, as you say, all of these other lists now. What would be the best way for me to grow a list like that, say, be a 5,000 or 6,000 strong list like that of people that are buying internet marketing products at the moment? What sort of one overview idea you could give me today that I could implement to be able to take that to the next level? Because as we know, is that my list, I'm sure they are on about 20 other people's lists, but it's always fun when you send an email out for a new launch and you get 25 sales. So is there like a method behind that madness? It's any strategy you could think of that, of the guys that are win? Like, I mean, Mark from Maine, okay, he wins most of the leaderboards in the Warrior Plus place where I'm playing, and I see that he's like, say, our number one on most of the leaderboards with between 35 and 40 sales maximum. That's how much sales he gets when he's on top of those leaderboards. So I'm saying,
I'll just
what
say,
would be a strategy for me to be able to make 50 sales for a new launch?
Yeah, Mike from Maine is leaving. He's got a great business model, but his business model makes him go from product to product. So he leaves so much money on the table because he never mails any of the scarcity-based elements. All of my sales are made on the last day, not the first day.
Completely.
The last day is where the sales are made. You asked, how do you build your list more? I think what you're doing is a great way to do it. I think that putting out more offers, building up your affiliate base, getting affiliate traffic is the number one way to get buyers onto your list. If people will continue to mail your $7 offers, keep putting them out there, and keep making better funnels, and making sure that you're getting paid more and more, and getting better and better at that. Now, as far as the strategy to what to do with those leads, I think I've already been kind of clear that I don't think it's a good idea for you to mail a new offer all the time. Even if people are buying it now, I could show you how to, instead of making 25 sales every single day, make 200 sales on one offer, and not completely burn out your list. What's happening is that those people are going from thing to thing, and they're not being successful. They're just buying stuff. And what you really want long-term for your business is for your people to be successful with your product. You don't want them to be successful necessarily with other people's products, or with, buying 1,000 things, and therefore that's how you got successful. You want to help them fit in what you sold, and get enhancement from the other products that you're selling. Nothing that you sell as an affiliate should be direct competition to what you've sold. It should all be a complement. So, for example, if you bring in all of these $7 buyers, right? You bring in 1,700 $7 buyers. Not all of them are going to have the money to spend $300. All of them have the money to spend another $7. That's why you keep getting more sales, right? You're like, oh man, I'm making sales. But you haven't tested to see how many will buy William Sousa's coaching, right? There's going to be a certain percentage of those people who will buy that coaching. And if you can relate that coaching back to your product, then it's a fit. Then you're not just somebody who's hammering them over and over again. with the same thing. And for our listeners, it doesn't matter what niche you're in. It doesn't matter how you're building your list. If you're focused on getting your subscribers results, if you're focused on promoting quality and giving them value, that's how you're gonna grow your business. That's how you're gonna make more money. So that's really my recommendation personally to you, Saul, is to figure out what you really want, because eventually I think what you're going to find out is down the line, if you don't continue to build that list, if you don't continue to refresh it with more and more leads, a year, 2 years down the line, it's not going to be there anymore. And that actually kind of, what's that?
I completely agree.
That kind of leads me to your email. Do you want to show people your email?
Yes, I can screen share. We'll put the attachment to it on this page. So maybe we can rather give an overview because we don't have too much time longer.
Okay, cool. Well, you can give the overview, and I'll just give you my notes on it.
Okay, wonderful. So let me explain to the guys that this is the exact email that I sent, and David's had a look at it for me. Is that just this week, David, as I said, like I've had about 5 of these launches of like Delilah came out with something, and then Billy D, my other friend, came out with one, and they've all got their launches. And I sent you an email to show you. Basically, what I did was, I don't do it all the time, and it's a question to you. Sometimes I do it, it converts into more sales, sometimes it doesn't. But basically what I did was I got the guy, product creator like this, almost on a call and talked to him, and then offered like 3 bonuses, but they weren't my previous work bonuses. Maybe they weren't all tightly related to the product. David, you'll tell me that in a moment. And my question, that when I asked you, and maybe then that's what you can explain, is that I just want to be, as I said, be one of the emails that actually get opened in their inbox, and I hope that they can buy that $7 or $8 product through me. So the question is, as an affiliate marketer, your one bit of advice for someone that like myself that really wants to start making more money and become more successful, but let's do baby steps. I think I'm already doing more than most people do, but I can maybe just use the tweak that you advise me now. How do I, like, what would be your best advice in terms of like that campaign or that email market? Because they probably get about 10 emails the day of this launch. What would be more innovative way for me to make more sales as an affiliate with the size list that I've got at the moment?
Well, first of all, when you're selling your $7 or $8 product, like I said, you don't need a bonus. You just need to get people to the page, because there isn't a lot of resistance, right? So in that situation, it's about generating as many clicks as you can possibly get. So in a different situation where the higher price product, where there might be some price resistance, or there might be a lot of competition, then you're going to have to consider that. I wouldn't go into an environment where there's a lot of competition and on a low price product. That's how that doesn't seem like a good strategy for promotion for me, at least. I do it very, very infrequently now. So I've always been one to kind of cherry pick promotions where nobody else is promoting, because competition is the #1 thing that will stifle you. So let's take a look at your email. The first thing that I thought was that, this is the whole subject: CPA commission crusher, arrow. I got out of bed to make you this special video, arrow under $6.
Yes.
Okay, that's the whole subject line. And then
probably too long.
What?
Okay.
It says,
I'm sure it's too long, but you'll tell me.
Okay. You already know that it's too long, but we'll discuss that in a second. It says, hey, CPA student, as you know, I've been recovering from a serious knee operation, but today a brand new CPA course was just released by my 2 good friends, Billy D and Avi H, that I need to tell you about. Then there's a link that says the same thing as the subject line. Um,
Yeah.
Then you say, I love this new CPA course because of these 3 bullet points. Then there's the same link that is the same as the headline. And then it says, please click on the link above to see the brief interview I did. Okay, cool. Which is really smart way to sell a product, by the way. If you send them to a pre-sale content beforehand, that's another way to differentiate yourself. I'm also offering you 3 exclusive bonuses. Great. And then it has another link. It's exactly the same as the other 2. Take action on this now. Chat with you later, Saul. CPA marketer and creator of CPA VidCrack and CPA Roadmap. Okay. So did you want to ask a question first?
No, I didn't. I want to hear your input on that, how that could be improved.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to tell you what you did well. And first of all, hey CPA student, that's an interesting one because it's kind of reminding them that, you bought something about CPA.
Exactly.
Most people don't remember what they bought or why they're on your list, especially if they bought it for $7. So that's pretty good. As you know, I've been recovering from a serious knee operation. That is actually pretty cool because you're actually connecting with them on a personal level, albeit very brief, right? That's probably the best thing that you did in this email is you kind of like showed your humanness a little bit. And then also, I kind of like the, on the creator of CPA VidCrack and CPA Roadmap, because that kind of reminds them why they're on the list as well.
Correct.
And then you did put a couple of benefits in here. You did the interview and did the bonuses. And all of those are really good things. And that's why you're having success. Now, how can we move this into greater success? First of all, this you keep sending emails like this, and you're going to end up in spam traps for the rest of your life. Your emails just will not get delivered after a certain amount of time. I know this because I've had a list for a long period of time, and then over time, what happens is that enough people, especially if you're emailing them every single day, are going to end up hitting the spam button. Not because you're spamming them. You're obviously doing something that's totally legal. I can see that this is in GetResponse and everything like that, but just because that's how people act. And so, they're not going to open it, they're not going to read it, and they're not going to click, and there's not going to be any engagement. You're going to be in the junk folder, and it's going to ruin your deliverability for the rest of your emails. So that's the number one concern that I've got for you here. The other thing is that you have elements of your email that even that will land you in the junk folder even without those other factors. For example, you have a very long subject line, and it's very unlikely that anybody is going to send out an email to their friend with such a long subject line. And it usually will not have that many characters in it as well. I've heard that 3 or more characters more likely to get into the spam box. Any kind of capital letters as well, which is unfortunate for you because you're a CPA. But it's capital letters, exclamation points, more than 3 characters in the subject line, excessively long subject lines. What's that?
Only 3 characters in the subject line, you said.
Yeah, exactly. So if you could do three dots as an ellipsis, what I do now is 2 dots as an ellipsis to avoid going over the 3 characters.
Okay.
And then, so basically, you not to not to be mean or anything, but you did break a couple of spam rules.
But I mean, that's what every time I mail like these sort of emails, as I say to you, like I always think I probably mailed this guy too many times. But people on my list, I'll send this out again, and then I made another 4 sales. So I mean, I know that it's not following the classical way of emailing, but on my list, it seems to be making sales every single day for me these. And how do you think it can just be improved? Would you just shorten the subject line completely? Or
I totally know where you're coming from, man. When I was starting out and I had a lot of hot buyers on my list, it seemed like no matter what I did, I could make sales. And that's really true. Like the most important things about email marketing are not this email right here. It's about, do you have buyers on your list? Are they recent buyers?
Yes, I'm getting like that's what I'm like. Every last month I did a new launch and I added another 1,000 fresh buyers. Those are the guys that are buying, I would imagine, every day. But I get people, and then I see a guy that's been on my list for like 4 months, and today he bought something and he hasn't bought. So, look, my question to you is like and I know that you've given me a lot of time, but this is the key question that I want to get you from your standpoint. Mark from Maine, he's got a great business model, but he's told me clearly, Saul, I can only promote something that's new. And I think that is a shame, that if you just send one email for one new product, as you say, you'll get more of your sales on the later days. So I think that I don't want to go that exact route because I see how much money he is leaving on the table. However, what I say to you is that there are so many people that are bringing out products all the time that I do want to support, because it's actually very fun and it's exciting to be finding these new Facebook products and CPA products where people are buying. So there are elements, as you say, that I am sending out those emails. How can I make it that much better, would you say? There's a lot of things besides. What are the key wrong things that I've done there? What sort of subject line would get a email open? I'm just trying to get the email open. I'm trying to get some attention. And how would you say I could improve that?
Well, here's the thing, is that I did mention to you the deliverability issue, and that's a long-term issue, but that's
not the problem right now.
Okay, well, so you're getting decent deliverability right now. And basically what I've realized is that if the more specific your headline, you're going to attract a certain person who's opening. So what I did an email test a couple of days ago where I did a very specific headline about what I was talking about. And then I split tested it 50-50 with a headline that said, hey, okay. And the hey email got significantly more opens, okay? But it also got significantly lower click-through rate, okay? Because it was very general. So people were like, oh, all right, let me open this up. But the people who are opening up a very specific headline email are more likely to be interested in what you're talking about and more likely to click on the links, all right? And what you've got in here, the one thing that you're doing really well is that you have a link that's exactly the same as your subject. And I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or not, but what happens is the exact people who open that email are likely to click on the call to action. Although this is not a call to action. That's the other thing that I wanted to say. It says, CPA Commission Crusher, I got out of bed to make this special video under $6, right? So that's the highlighted link, but there's no call to action in there. So the call to action should be here.
I'm trying to tell it to go check out the product and the bonuses as quickly as possible.
Right, so the call to action is click here. Click here for this, right? That's the call. That's a call to action.
Right.
And then the other thing is that there's no real point in having these 3 links separated on the page like this, because you don't need to scroll in order to see all 3 of these links. At least I haven't rendered it inside of my email client, but the reason I do 3 links in my email is because I usually have a paragraph of about 3 to 4 sentences at the front, which kind of explains a very, very big overview what my email is about, and then a link for the people who just want to read a little something and then click. Then I elaborate in the 3rd paragraph, and then there's a link. In the 2nd paragraph, and then there's a link, and then I elaborate even more in a 3rd paragraph, and then there's a link. So it's all about them scrolling down, and then no matter where they are in the email, they have a link where they can click. So it's not, it doesn't enhance anything for you, I don't think, to have these 3 links the way that they're laid out with very little text in between, because yeah, it's just not going to help your click-through rate, in my opinion. And I think if you sent this same email out with, if you cut off all of this text below the link, like all of it, you'd probably get the same or a higher click-through rate. And then if you kept all of the text but took 2 of the links out, I think you'd get the same click-through rate. But you would also get better deliverability. See, the thing is, Saul, like,
why would I get better deliverability? Because I've got less links in the email.
Yeah, exactly. Less.
Oh, really? Have I got too many links in the email? Is that a problem?
I wouldn't say that you have too many. No, I wouldn't say that. But I would say that if you send out 1 link, like, think about it, sending an email to your friend. Would you send this email to your friend? No, because an email to your friend's not going to get caught in a spam box normally. So if you're sending an email to your friend, you're just going to give them 1 link. The fact is that you've got to, and if you're going to have 3 different links in here, what I would recommend are 3 different calls to action. So if you've got a call to action that one says, click here to learn how to, make $1,000 in an hour, that's going to appeal to 1 person, right? Then the second link might say, click here to, to make a long-term business out of CPA. That's going to appeal to a 3rd person. And most products have, second person. Most products have more than 1 benefit. So you can obviously put those various benefits inside of your calls to action. Is going to attract various.
Okay, so what you're saying is that, look, I'm just trying to make this in a style that tells someone about the new product. Maybe they want to see a short interview and maybe get a few bonuses and click. So what you're saying to me is that I should change those wordings up, and instead of repeating myself 3 times, I can put a different call to action 3 times. And what sort of subject line do you think would be the best subject line? I heard you say when you said to your friend, hey, or whatever, but they're getting all the same subject lines.
Benefit.
What is actually a good subject line in this particular case?
Well, I just said benefit based.
Benefit based.
Yeah. So right here you have 3. You have 3 bullet points, right?
Right.
No technical skills needed. I wouldn't really earn over $100 a day with very, very little effort, right? So that's something that CPA people want, right? So that would probably make a pretty decent headline if you could figure out how to do it without hitting all the spam traps. And then extremely simple to implement and start profiting with. So you can play around with different headlines and see which ones work best for you. But what I would do is I would go back to the headline on the sales page. Okay, you work backwards and figure out how are they pitching it. And if the headline on the sales page says something like how to make $100 per day with very little effort using CPA tactics, that's what people are going to be attracted to. So you want to bring that back to the call to action. You want to bring that back to the subject line in your email. And you want it to be like how to, make $100 a day with very little effort. Right? Because those are the people you want to attract. And by the time they go to the sales page, you have a congruent message all the way through, right? Does that make sense?
It does, definitely. Yeah, it does.
Because CPA commission pressure, nobody knows what that is. Now, I got out of bed to make you this special video. That's a cool subject line. People are like,
yeah, like, I mean, that's what I said. Like, I do want to say to someone, like, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think that gives it a twist that would get you more of a following over the long term? And for a guy like myself, yes, I do want to make as many sales on different leaderboards as possible, but I also do want to get good relationships with other affiliates in the market and with my clients at the same time. So it's quite a delicate balance. And that's what I'm trying to do, guys. I mean, really, David, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is grow my name as an affiliate marketer, try to start getting on some serious leaderboards. But I think from what you're telling me today and summing it up, and I appreciate your time, is that what you're saying to me is that I'm doing some things well, but maybe what I should do is obviously the model isn't the best model to promote something new every day. Or, I mean, just, how could you see me improve myself and try to become a recognized affiliate in this market?
Well, I would encourage you to just look a little bit more long term. And I think that's pretty much what we've been talking about.
Exactly. So
And
that's what you're saying. It's more like the long term than
yeah,
look short term.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, for everybody who's listening, when you're in that situation where you just want to make money and you just need to get out of the jam that you're in, it's hard to look long term, and I totally understand that. And at the same time, you can still make money while looking long term. You just have to talk to the right people who will point you in a direction, who have enough perspective to show you that what you're doing is or is not probably going to work long term. And the thing is that people on your list, Saul, they probably really like you at this point. They probably paying attention to what you're saying, and I know that if you put a lot of content in your emails, and if you show your personality because you're a really likable guy, and you continue to mail really quality stuff and give big bonuses on top of it, and really break down to people why it's important that they invest in certain things, and really talk to people on a level where they can really respect what you're doing, then they're going to like you long term. They're just going to like you a little bit less if you're sending them emails that just look like you're just trying to get a click. And so that's what I'm encouraging you, is just to look a little bit more long term and see about how you can make this email a little bit more like an email that you'd want to receive.
Exactly. Okay, good. I'm getting your point, and thank you. I appreciate it. So that's what we were saying. I mean, as you know, just to come round circles, that I met you in Marketing Mayhem. We had some amazing conversations already today. I think for anyone that's listened to this, they can get a lot of value to see what I'm doing. Is that yes, my goal was to make my goal was to make $100 a day. Now my goal is to take my $350 a day to $500 a day. And what you've told me today has made a big difference to me, is that I should look more long-term, write the emails maybe more natural, still give bonuses and still interview the product creators, but maybe promote one less product a week. My question to you now is, do you think pre-emails work? Is that statistically is something that I should have in my strategy, or not really?
Well, Jeff Johnson says if you're going to mail a big launch, mail early and mail often. And he's talking about mailing for $2,000 products. When you have a very expensive product, people have to consider that purchase, right? Think about if you were going to spend $2,000 and you shared your money with your wife. Would you want to consult her before you spent that $2,000? Unless you had like things totally separate, right? She's going to be pissed if you just spent that. So warming them up, getting them used to the idea, giving them time to make a decision, all of that's really important for $2,000. For $7, it's not important at all, right? So there's no pre-email necessary for products that don't require much of a decision. If it's an impulse buy, then there's no point of warming them up. So you have to understand why you're doing things. It's not always just clear cut, oh yeah, you should send a pre-email, or you shouldn't. You have to know why.
Exactly. Look, I mean, I also think that I need to pen out my strategies. That I think, like, I've brought out some amazing products of my own for $7, $8. I mean, anyone that's selling even $7, I personally think it's a great buy, because there's a lot of amazing information. And like, if you get in at $4 or $7, that is worth a few dollars. And I want to attract like people to come onto my list, and maybe I need to identify that as maybe a mission statement, or make that clear when people come onto my list and say, look guys, welcome to, like, you'll be on my list. I'm going to be emailing you twice a day, or I'm going to be emailing you every day with a new, no, not twice a day. I'll email you every day a new product that has to do with CPA. I hope that you don't get pissed off and leave and think I'm sending you too many emails. The truth is that there are so many new information products about CPA at the moment. I am getting review copies anyway, and I'd like to if I think it is good, I'm going to run it past you. As you know, I do get an affiliate commission if you purchase through my link. But this is why you should look at this CPA offer. So my question to you is, I want to be promoting new CPA information products in this space, for example, every single day, because like there are even like in the next 2 days, 3 guys are bringing out new products. How would I communicate that the best with someone who is already on my list? Should I just do almost what I just said now? Is that this has come out? I think that you should look at it for $6. It's definitely worth at least like $60. Give it a look.
I think whatever your strategy is going forward, whether it's to promote, and I'm going to say this to everybody who's listening, however you're going to email your list, however you're going to promote or not promote or send them whatever it is you're sending, that first email of setting expectations is pretty important. I always send out an email saying, I'm going to be sending you news updates about industry news, and I'm going to be sending you products that I think that will help you in your business, and anecdotes and stories about my life, and something along those lines. So you set the expectation, and most good email marketers do that as well, because if you tell them, I'm going to be emailing you every single day with a new CPA product, then they know exactly what to expect from you, right? They're not really opening up your emails out of curiosity about what you're doing with your day and whether you had pancakes for breakfast. They're opening up your email because they're interested in the new product that you're promoting. So I think that is exactly what you should do.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, David, look, I mean, I've just enjoyed talking to you, and I'm going to package this interview. I think for whoever listens to it, and I'm going to certainly listen to it like another 2 or 3 times, and hopefully we can do another 1 or 2 interviews, maybe even a follow-up, and then we can combine them, because I think it's just that you explained to me some really great concepts that I'd like to think about today, and I like your points were very valid. Thank you so much. I know that your time is valuable. To get an hour with you is an honor for me, and I'll send out this interview. Whoever sees it on YouTube or on my mailing list, I hope you guys have taken a chance to listen to me and David. We've been going for like almost an hour discussing amazing concepts that, as I explained to you, David, is that it is so exciting, as you know, with internet marketing. I want to be someone that for you, now that you've met me at this stage of my career, and it's April 2015, and it's going to be interesting where we go like in the next 6 months, and I'm going to show you like the sort of promotions that I'm doing. I'm going to also now implement what you say more and try to test that. I wanted to do actually 1 test and then see how that goes, and I thought maybe for 1 month I will promote, say, 2 products less for the month and give more care to the promotions, and maybe mail for an extra day on the ones that I did promote for, as opposed to trying to support every single person that comes out with a new product. And I want to see how my income changes, and I'm going to show that to you. We can discuss that also in a later interview. And I like what you said earlier, is that if every person's coming out with a new product, and like they say to me, Saul, can we count you in for the launch? Like, as you said, I would love to be on every leaderboard, but at the same time, I'm shooting myself in the foot by saying yes to too many people. I should maybe now be more selective of choose even 10 good new CPA products for the month, and think those promotions are better than sending out a new one every single day and trying to help people, trying to help every single new person that launches a product at my own cost, because obviously what you're saying, and I know that just for me personally, whose email list that I'm on, if the guy's like sending me an email every day and it's always a pitch, I would probably unsubscribe. You catch me in the wrong mood on the wrong day. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Think about our interaction before we did this interview, right? You hit me up on Facebook you wanted me to review an interview you did with somebody else and me give you a video testimonial for it, right?
Yes.
And what was my response to you?
Your response was that CPA isn't your game, but you'd like to discuss something else that you're much more familiar with, and that's what we're doing now. So thanks so much.
Well, yeah, I was basically like, no.
CPA, like, you've got nothing really to add to this because you don't do it yourself and it's not your game. And
well, it was more like, how else can I help you, right? If somebody asks you to mail your lunch, you can just be like, this isn't right for me, but maybe there's some other way. And I'm happy to do the talk with you. It's a lot more fun for me to do an hour talking with you helping you in your business that way than it would have been for me to watch an hour-long interview on CPA on a topic that really doesn't interest me. So it's all about, you can always reframe anything. If somebody comes to ask you for a favor, you could always be like, I can't do that right now, but is there anything else that I can help you with? Because, and the reason people respect, I think that you respect my answer to you. That's just how I run my business, because there's only a certain amount of hours you have in a day, and you can't do everything. You can't please everybody. So,
exactly. Yeah. So David, for my list and for everyone that's been watching us today, and thank you for your time. I hope that it made sense. Like, I did ask you some, I think, focus questions in a specific focus area that whoever, and for me, hopefully one day, but for anyone that's listening to this, I think if they had to perfect what we were talking about to a large degree, that your business will be on a solid foundation to be a very successful, wealthy business. But it needs more than a 1 hour conversation, of course. For anyone that's watched you today, and how do they find out more about David Eisner? Where did they communicate with you, and on which platform are you the most prolific on at the moment?
Well, you can always visit my website, which is backpackbusinessman.com.
Backpackbusinessman.com. Okay.
Yeah. And there is there are many ways to get onto my list. If you want to get my communications, you can obviously check out some of the blog posts that I've written there. I try to only put the top content. I don't just load my blog up with a bunch of stuff. I put whatever I'm really inspired to talk about. And then, there's product section, there's all different kinds of stuff, but that's pretty much my portal right now. If you want to get to know me better, and learn more from me, is backpackbusinessman.com. And I really do appreciate it.
David, I really appreciate your time, and it's been a pleasure to speak to you. And really, I wish you all the best of luck in your future. And I'm going to see you soon. I know it's only the beginning of a wonderful relationship, hopefully, where I can add value to you, and we can take it from there. That really, just to have met you was amazing, and you've given me already so much by talking to me for this morning. My last question I just want to sum up with, for anyone that is suffering in internet marketing and jumping from product to product and buying every product that are being on my list and buying too many products and not implementing, they're one of those people, David, and they're not implementing and not getting something right before they move on. Give us your advice today for someone to start making money in internet marketing, to start being able to reach to $200-300 a day. What would you give advice to this person today, right now?
Well, I think that what I would do is I would write a list of things that you're good at, and I'd write a list of things that you enjoy doing, and then try to fit it into a business model that can be successful. And really and once you've decided, then focus on that and go hard, and try not to get distracted by too many things. If Saul keeps sending you emails, open them, look at it, but you don't necessarily have to buy and go through all the products. If you feel like you want to be a CPA marketer and you want to be somebody who is an expert at getting traffic, that is an admirable skill to learn on the internet. And I definitely recommend doing it and becoming a master in at least 1 or 2 different traffic sources. But at the same time, and you can buy these courses, just go through, try to get a nugget that's going to make you more money, and then move forward with your ultimate strategy. Don't get off track and start doing a different industry, a different strategy. If you know what you want and you've already decided, go down that path and maybe sprinkle in a little things that will enhance it, but keep going down that path, because if you stop, you're going to stop before success. And if you keep going, it's usually past that obstacle. People will try to sell you every pipe dream out there. There's always a new business opportunity. I promise you that. They're like buses. That's what Richard Branson says. Opportunities are like buses. There's a new one around the corner all the time. So,
like fish in the sea. Exactly. They're like fish in the sea. But I mean, do you go to like any of the tech websites to like see any of these big strategy stuff that's coming? And I mean, where do you get your data and your information? Because there's some amazing websites out there, and exactly what we were starting to talk about earlier, right at the beginning. You said Pinterest. I just read a really good article there. Don't you think that? I mean, do you think there is like for someone like myself that wants to be prolific and bring out a lot of products, do you think I should keep my pulse on what's happening in the bigger tech websites in terms of a new traffic source, and then bring out small consumable information products about that source and add value to people in that way, and then email them relevant offers every day?
You should do whatever is a complement to your core business. So if you understand what your strategy is, if your strategy is to bring on more fresh leads and mail them more offers every single day, which is fine, if that's your strategy, then you need to continue to feed that beast, right? You need to continue to come out with cutting edge offers that sell and get more people on your list until the point where you've got so many people on your list that you've gotten a decent market share, and then you raise prices, and then you make more money that way. Because there are new, Jay Abraham explains the 3 different ways to make money, right? To grow your business. One is more customers, one is charge more money, and one is to sell more stuff, right? So you have those 3 different ways to make money or to grow your business. And right now you're just talking about getting more customers, right? So you're not selling any more of your own stuff, and from what you told me, and you're not selling any more, you're not raising the prices. So if you want to get more customers, you have to do what's worked for you before, and what's worked for everybody else before, which is continue to come out with cutting edge information that's going to help people.
Brilliant, brilliant. Sorry, I'm just moving around a bit about here.
That's okay.
My knee's a bit sore, so it will be like a bit. People will understand why I've been a bit fidgety today. So interesting. So David, look, I appreciate your time. What I'm going to be doing is, guys, sending out this information. I've had a wonderful chat with David. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this. I hope whoever watched this, that they got huge value. But if you just had an hour with David Eisner, which is huge. An hour like this could cost a couple $1,000, David, and it's just not even available. So look, there's a lot that we said there, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Have a great weekend. I'm going to speak to you soon. And for anyone that's been watching, it's Saul Moroney from Johannesburg, South Africa. All of David's information you can get from me. He knows about 100 times more than I do in internet marketing. But I think we shared some interesting stuff. And you guys are following me because you bought my products, and I am at a level, I think maybe just at the same level or even slightly further ahead than a few people, like the majority of the people on my list. But I'm trying to get to the next level too, and that's why when I saw David blew my mind with the information that he shared before and today again. So David, thank you. You gave me like a whole strategy lesson, and there's like so much I can make notes, and I'm going to implement a lot what you told me, and I'm going to report back hopefully in a few weeks with another call to tell you how, like, all the benefits I've seen of implementing what you told me. So thanks so much, and I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
We'll speak to you soon. Guys, Saul Moroney from Johannesburg, South Africa. You just had an hour with Saul Moroney and David Eisner. David, I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, man.